Many people around the world are now asking a very surprising question. Could the Igbo people of Nigeria be connected to the ancient Israelites of the Bible? In this video, three foreign commentators react in shock as they hear the story of an Igbo man who boldly said, "I am not Nigerian, I am Igbo. I am a Jew." They talk about the growing Jewish communities in Eboland, the painful history of the Biafra war, and why some Igbo people believe they may be part of the lost tribes of Israel. Let's listen to their discussion and then break it down.
If you go to the government of Israel's website on their view on the lost tribes of Israel and who's from the house of Israel around the world, you'll notice one of the most common names in that report is the Igbo tribe, the Igbo tribe. And these are about, 40 or so million people in Nigeria that self-identify as being Jewish. And now there's, 60 Orthodox communities in there who have converted and are practicing Judaism. And the leader of the Igbo people, ruling over them, is trying to, create an independent Jewish state. And they have a whole Jewish revival going there. It's fascinating, and the government of Israel is loving it, and they're supporting it. And Jewish people are making documentaries about it. And it's like the most exciting thing ever. And it's giving people a lot of biblical renewal.
I just had a Lyft driver yesterday telling me about all this, and I was kind of like, all right, what? It's all true. What you're talking about? It's crazy.
So your Lyft driver was Igbo from Nigeria?
I'm so sure that's what he was saying to me. Yeah, all this stuff. He was saying that he said Israel's been supportive.
So anytime I'm in Israel at the Western Wall and I see a Igbo man that I could tell because they're wearing Nigerian outfits, I say, are you Jewish? He's like, yeah, how do you know? And I'm like, well, bring it in, give me a hug.
No, that's what he said to me. He picked me up at a Jewish community center. He goes, are you Jewish? And I went, yeah. He goes, this place, is this house of worship, or this is what is this place? And I told him what the JC. It's like, it's a community center. They do events. It's about a building community. They do all sorts of. They take people from all races. I said, yeah. He's like, I am from Nigeria. Igbo. He didn't say and when I said Nigerian, he's like, not Nigerian, Igbo. Yeah. Not Nigerian. I am Igbo. I am Jew. I am Jew. And we're trying to do what Israel did. They're supporting us. And he started going on this whole thing.
Yes, because Nigeria is just a name that the British threw on to the amalgamation of a bunch of different tribes there that destabilized the region and led to a genocide and a Holocaust of the Igbo people. Where in the 1960s, millions of them were systematically killed and murdered.
Yeah, he told me about that too, but I was running late. So
it's so this is so relevant because we have such a never again Holocaust theme, but these people had it. But what is mind-boggling to me, which I can't imagine why this is not in the news and not spoken about, is that a large chunk, more than a fourth of the transatlantic slave trade.
Welcome back. Let me break down what happened in that conversation. Many Jewish people are curious about Igbo. Over the last 20 years to 30 years, the Igbo story has attracted attention among Jewish scholars, rabbis, and documentary makers because some Igbo communities practice Judaism. And you wonder, where did they learn this from? These Igbo communities keep the Sabbath, circumcision, and certain Old Testament traditions. Some Igbo traditions resemble ancient Hebrew practice. That is why rabbis visit Igbo communities. And that is why Jewish filmmakers make documentaries. Some Igbo Jews travel to Israel. So when those guys said Israelis are fascinated by them, that part is not completely wrong. No, it is not wrong. Secondly, the lost tribe theory, the idea that Igbo people might come from ancient Israelite, is one of the many lost tribes theories. Other groups that claim similar ancestry include the Beta Israel, that's the Ethiopian Jews, the B'nai Manasseh, the Lemba people. And some of these groups were later recognized as Jewish by Israel after formal conversion. The Igbo case is still being debated. Now, let's look at the third one, the Lyft driver story. That part about the Lyft driver story, proudly saying, I am Igbo, not Nigeria, is also believable. Many Igbo people strongly identify with their ethnic identity first, because Nigeria was created by the British in 1914. So we were first Igbo. We have been living our normal life as who we are before the identity as Nigeria. And that is why if you meet some Igbos and a lot of people, they will first tell you, we are Igbo before we are Nigeria. So several ethnic nations were forced into one country called Nigeria. And some people do say Nigeria is colonial. I am Igbo. You hear similar things from Kurds, from Catalans, and from Scots. You hear also from Palestinians. So that statement is political identity, not just religion. The Biafra War mentioned, when they talked about genocide in the 1960s, they were referring to the Biafra War, what happened around that time. Some say the Nigerian Biafra War. During that war, the Igbo region tried to form Biafra, or there was Biafra. Biafra actually existed. So, but Nigeria fought to stop the separation, which has already happened. And massive famine, starvation killed millions. Some say hundreds of thousands, some say millions of civilians. There are images of starving children from the war that actually shocked the entire world and led to the creation of the humanitarian group, Medicine Sans Frontiers. So the war really did leave a deep historical scare on Ndi Igbo. Now let's look at why it sounded mind-blowing to them. To Western audience, the story feels dramatic because it combines biblical prophecy, Africa identity, Jewish diaspora, colonial history, civil war. So when they hear an Igbo man say, we are Jews and we want our own nation, it sounds like a modern biblical story unfolding, even though some people could say the reality is more complicated. Something they probably didn't understand, some of them. But one thing those guys may not fully understand is this. Most Igbos today are Christians, not Jews. There are Jews, the ones that identify with Judaism. And the largest churches in Eboland include the Roman Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, Assemblies of God. Then you have the Jewish Igbo communities. They are not very much, but they are growing. Here is the interesting truth. The Igbo story is unique because three identities overlap. You talk about the African heritage, the biblical traditions, the modern political struggles. That is Biafra. That's why the topic keeps appearing in foreign podcasts, documentaries, and debates. And this is where we'll round up on this for now. In further broadcasts, probably, we will be shedding more light. Of course, it is already known that there is a relationship between Israel and Ndi Igbo. But the story could be told differently by different people. Meanwhile, viewers who want to hear you, what do you think? Add your comment on the comment section. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. I am Azuka Oja. I say bye-bye for now.